Hello, everybody. Welcome back to How Come. This episode, we are talking to Tucker Cohen. He is the founder and CEO of Smoov, Smoov, which is an app that makes it easy for couples to split their expenses automatically before they have a shared bank account. So today we're talking about finances and being in a couple and how to split up your shit, whether you're doing it with Smoov or not. This episode is not an ad for Smoov. I just discovered Tucker on TikTok talking about it, and I was like, that's an interesting topic. I've actually never been on the app. You hear me ask a lot of questions about it, but the basic principles are financial literacy. It's important by yourself and when you're in a couple, and how things change when you are in a couple. Okay, enjoy.
How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz.
Let me make sure I'm saying your name right. Remy.
Yeah, but there's no reason to say my name ever.
Why not?
I don't know. I've never had somebody be like, anyway. I'm so excited for this episode. Welcome, Tucker.
Thanks, Remy.
So I have recently been talking to a lot of friends about couples and money. And the other day I came across a TikTok of yours where you were talking about this app that you created, and it's called Smoov. And it sounds like that's pretty much what it's about, is couples and money.
That's exactly what it's about. Yes.
Okay.
So my now wife and I were having this problem ourselves where we were we kept separate bank accounts, but we had a lot of shared expenses.
Mm-hmm. Because you were living together?
We were living together, and we actually bought a condo together before we were engaged, which some people said was crazy, but it was 2020, and it was seemed opportunistic, and in hindsight was opportunistic. Granted, if the relationship were to have gone south for some reason, then it would have been a nightmare. But
yes, but then you'd also still just have an asset to split.
True. Right. The pros far outweighed the cons in terms of the timing and our perception of it. And so, in 2021, we got engaged, and we were in Spain, which is where my wife is from. And we were there for a month. And when we came back from the trip, we were doing all of this manual Excel-based math to figure out how much do we spend in Spain and what are our reoccurring expenses. And she has 5 credit cards and I have 5 credit cards, and just throwing everything into this master Excel spreadsheet. And I was like, wait a second, this is a nightmare. I bet that there is an app that can do this for us automatically. And there wasn't.
Interesting. So it was just vacation splitting, basically.
It was vacation. Yeah. And when you're on vacation, it's you don't go there to save money. So you're going out to dinner all the time. Yeah. We're visiting friends and family.
The closest thing I could think of when I stumbled upon Smoov was there was a trip my friends and I went on to Italy 10 years ago or something. And we used something called Splitwise. But I haven't heard of it since. And it doesn't sound like it was recurring expenses. It was just this is our group of friends. Who owes who for what.
Yeah. And Splitwise is great. Splitwise has been around for a long time. It's definitely specifically for those scenarios, the bachelorette, bachelor party type of things. It's still pretty manual in terms of getting the expenses in there. If you booked the Airbnb for the whole crew, you have to go in and be I booked the Airbnb. Here's who was there. Here's how much it was.
Yeah.
Especially if it's oh yeah, Remy was there for 3 days and Tucker was there for 5 days. How do you split it like that? So we came up with this concept about doing it specifically for couples, and couples have much more frequency in terms of how often this impacts them.
Yeah.
So Splitwise is great, and it's really good for group trips. What I've found in my experience is even if we're trying to use Splitwise for, let's say, a bachelor party, there ends up being someone who's just fuck this, I'll just do it all myself in Excel. Because it's super manual to figure out who was there for the set expense, and it's manual to get the actual dollar amount into the app.
Yeah, we did end up fighting, and I ended up doing the manual math.
Right. And I've never heard of a situation where that doesn't end up happening.
Okay.
So then our thesis was kind of like, all right, couples do experience this more frequently. The number one transaction across all of Venmo is rent. And the number one person, recipient, if you will, on all of Venmo, if someone's in a relationship, is their significant other. Couples are getting married later in life. Couples have higher earnings because of that, higher net worth because of that, and a deeper sense of financial autonomy and independence. Plus, I imagine you and I are around the same age. Like, millennials grew up with the 50% of marriages fail.
Yeah.
That line. And so if you've
so
seen
we're
that,
real cautious.
Right. Like my parents are divorced. And so if you've seen that firsthand, you're like, there's no way I'm putting everything into one pot. There's got to be a better way.
I grew up with my parents' example of he went to work, she raised 4 kids. They shared a bank account. There were no secret bank accounts. Everything was like a joint effort, basically. Like if he was paying the bills, she was like manually sending them in,
Right.
And now they're getting a divorce. So I bet.
Welcome to the club.
I bet they've been separated for like 7 years. This is a very strange time to get divorced anyway, but that's another story. But I think that's what most of us grew up with, being like, oh, that's how money works in couples. And now,
right.
Not the majority, but a lot of people, at least who I've spoken to recently, are splitting bills one way or another.
I mean, in this economy, how can you not?
Yeah.
The thing about like personal financial literacy is what you're alluding to and what I'm alluding to, which is that like it's formed by your upbringing, first and foremost, right? Like what neighborhood did you grow up in? What town were you in? What was your family like? Were you middle class, lower class, upper class? Like that's your foundation for your own personal understanding of money. And then after that, it's, this stuff sadly is not really taught in high school, and it's maybe taught in college. If it's like an elective, or if you're a finance major or an accounting major or whatever. And so that's the second way you form your relationship with money on a personal level. And then the third way is like YouTube videos, TikToks, whatever, like personal self-education, or your career, if you get into a finance heavy career. But the challenge that couples have is they're two different people with two different financial identities and levels of financial literacy based on those three things. And then they come together in a relationship, and money isn't like necessarily the pretense for the relationship. Maybe it is. Maybe here in LA, it's part of it. And you're in New York, right?
Everywhere, it's a little bit part of it for some people.
Right.
But it's also like what you do with, like, I know some people who get married and they mush everything together, and that's what works for them.
Truly. Yeah. And it's different for everyone. I mean, that's the point, right? It's like we're working on a platform that is accommodating for everyone's unique needs, because each relationship is different. And I think, because people are coming from different backgrounds, and then they fall in love for reasons outside of money, and then they say they want to move in together, and then it becomes a thing. Like the analogy that I always use is money is like the grim reaper for your relationship. Like, not that it's going to kill it, but it can, and it's coming for you no matter what.
Like less romantic.
Yeah. It's like when you get past the honeymoon phase, like things get serious. You're like, I mean, and even it's been a while since, my wife and I have been together for like 10 years, and it's been a long time, but I think that like, it doesn't happen naturally at the beginning. You're not like, so how much money do you make? And what's your credit score? Because I want to move into this sick apartment, and if you have a shitty credit score, there's no point in us even continuing this.
Yeah. I do wonder how early a lot of people are having those conversations, because I feel like you could get to a point in your relationship where like you learn something about what they think is like acceptable financially, and you're like, oh no, I've never been like on board with that. Right. And I guess that would be like anything else, that you're just like, oh, we should have talked about this earlier, and also goodbye or change. People
have a hard time changing.
I have a friend who, I went to her apartment the other day. It's a new apartment. I was like, oh my God, this place is unreal. And she was like, yeah, like my husband pays. And the number was like 10 times the amount that she pays. And I was like, wait, why does he pay so much more? Do you make that much less than him? And she was like, no, that's just like what we decided. Like he wanted the apartment. And so that's what we decided.
Yeah.
And so
good for her.
Yeah. And nice of him.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, right? Like it's going to become part of the dynamic. And to your question for her, it was like, is this the equitable split? Like,
yeah.
But even if it's not, it's like, that's what worked for them. And that's whatever. That's up to them to decide. And,
right. I know it's so interesting with money because I'm like, on the one hand, I think it's very like person and like, in this case, couple specific. But then on the other, you're like, I kind of would like to know some hard and fast rules for like what's expected.
Yes. Yeah. Like, where's the baseline for this? What's acceptable? This is like if you know the Larry David episode or the Curb episode where he's like he talks about medium talk. This is like medium talk for, when I've been doing this for a long time and I get to have these interesting conversations with people who are my close friends where it would never be a part of the dynamic where it's like, do you guys have a shared bank account? How do you do this? Because you both work. Every couple I know, both partners works. Like
any financial literacy, I want to like spread the wealth as far as knowledge goes and be like, oh, like you should invest in this and you should do this. But then it's like when it comes to relationships, there are so many other factors. It's not just like, it's not asking how do you make more money. It's like, what is equitable distribution in this relationship? And I do think there might be people who treat distribution differently based on who they're dating in the moment. And there are people who are like, no, that person needs to take care of me. Or like, no, I need to be taking care of that person.
Yeah. And what if someone loses a job? Like, what's the contingency plan? Does the other partner make enough money to support while they're looking for a job, or someone's getting their master's? Like every relationship is totally different. And so, yeah, that's kind of our thing, is like trying to create a product that is encompassing of the variables from one relationship to the next. And just build into the future to like teach financial literacy for people that don't have it or have a lower baseline, help couples save up to buy a house. There's plenty of like well-documented charts and stats around like millennial home buyers plummeting through the floor.
That
like
they don't exist.
Yeah.
Exactly. The myth of ye old home buyer.
Right.
But were you guys always on the same page when it came to money, or like were these conversations that had to like grow and change?
It's always a conversation no matter what. And like dynamics change, earnings change, living situations change. I would say that my wife and I were always on the same page in terms of contributing to the relationship equitably, like really early on. And that was helpful for us as we like moved in together and then bought a condo during COVID, and, have grown as a partnership like throughout the past 10 years. Because really like, Scott Galloway talks about this all the time, for better or for worse, but like it is a financial decision, like who you're deciding to spend your life with, whether you like it or not. It's not the original reasons why you fall in love, but it becomes a financial decision one way or another. And so,
or all the decisions you are going to make going forward involving finance also involve that person.
Right. And so, no matter how you look at it, like it's coming for you. And so I think for us, it's constant communication. Like it has to be one of these things that you're constantly going back to and like looking at the expenses. I mean, our life is.
Do you have like a set time that you're like once a week or like once a month, we're going to sit down and look at our spending?
I would say it's more monthly, like at the end of one month, beginning of another month, because we have, just like a ton of expenses right now. We have twins. And so,
oh my God.
Yeah. Just dealing with all that. And we both work full time.
Double the fun, double the expenses.
Right. Legitimately. I actually posted this on my Instagram story the other day because my wife texted me and was like, if we can get them out of diapers, we'll save $100 a month.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And like, really good incentive.
Yeah. I'm like, but then we have to deal with like, potty training them both at the same time. So
make it a competition.
Oh my, okay. So
start pitting them against each other now.
No, that's horrible advice. My friend, one of my best friends was a twin, and I was like, hey, what do you wish your parents did differently? He's like, don't make it a competition between them. But
totally.
It happens all the time where you're like, hey, he's going to finish his food. Are you going to finish your food? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, do you want to give it? It's like really hard not to. Who's going to get in the car first? Like, I'm trying to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I used to, so my sister is 3.5 years younger than me, and she would always, yodels, come in a pack of 2, chocolate, vanilla, little swirl.
Yeah.
She would always eat her yodels so slowly, and like I would be long done with them, and she'd be like savoring them, and eventually I was like, let's race, just so that she would shove them in her mouth, and then I'd be like, no, I'm savoring it. So no matter whether the parents make it or a competition or the child themselves does it, it's gonna happen.
It's inevitable. I know. Yeah. I'm feeling that way.
You might as well just use it to get them out of diapers.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's not a bad play. I mean, yeah, honestly, at this point, I'm like, whatever works.
Yeah, whatever works. One could be in diapers for a while. That could just be like their thing.
I feel like once we go full court press on it, which we've been intentionally delaying because of how shitty it will be, pun intended. Yeah, then I think that it'll click.
My nephew is 5 and he's potty trained, but now we're at the point where he doesn't want to wipe himself. And that's like a whole new adventure.
Yeah. We're having some of that too. Where one of my kids is like, I don't like wipes. They're cold. And we're like, okay, dude, walk around with shit in your ass. Be my guest.
Yeah. You're like, or I'll invest in a bidet.
Yeah.
You could be the one baby that uses a bidet.
And everyone in the house will benefit from it. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm. And then they'll have to like bring it to the nursery school as well. They'll be like, this nursery school comes with bidet.
Yeah.
So on the topic of kids, because I was thinking about this too, like, say you want your kid to start taking karate and your wife is like, I don't want them to take karate at all. But she says, if you really, really want to, you can send them to karate. Then who's paying for karate?
Interesting. I mean, in our household, like we do split everything, especially related to the kids.
Okay.
That's kind of a curveball because like I'm out on karate. I think it would come down to if the kid ended up being like, I want to do karate.
I want to do it. Yeah.
But if it's like one parent driving, then I think maybe it's on them.
Yeah. Again, all these questions are going to be so dumb because it's like case by case and like couple by couple.
Right. Everyone's going to be totally different.
Yeah. No, when my friend told me the thing about the apartment, I was like, how did you swing that?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Like, what is your trick? And can you teach me, please?
Incredible. But then I thought about the fact that she just like made a full baby. And I'm like, that's how you swung it. Like, you just.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't mention that part. Right. So, yeah.
They have a baby.
Nice. Exciting. So they need a bigger place.
Okay. So let's say we're using Smoov and you have recurring expenses and then like what it says, this partner is going to be responsible for this much and this one, like, and you can like toggle it.
Yeah, it's like a slider that you can pick the percentage. You can set up reoccurring expenses like rent, mortgage, car payment, Netflix, like all those little things too. And then you can have one-off where it's like Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, and then you manually sex. Yeah. How about this? This is going to be fun for your podcast because I was thinking about this like potentially viral feature, which is like favors.
Favors.
The relevant thing in my household.
Sex work starts at home.
Right. I mean, it's got to start somewhere. And, like my wife has never taken out the trash, like the bins.
Okay. Yeah.
For years, ever.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, that would be like a PG favor,
Sure.
But then you get all this interesting UGC content where it's like, yeah, here's a favor. Okay. Okay. Dishes. Like I also talk about like the difference between relationship problems and roommate problems. Like laundry and dishes can feel like a relationship problem, but ultimately they are kind of just roommate problems.
Unless you can exchange them for a favor.
For a favor of your choosing.
Then those are like roommates in like the old days sense, where they were like secretly hooking up.
And they're bartering.
I think favors is a fun thing, just because like how much fun are IOU cards on Valentine's Day? Like, why not make it a year-long thing? It doesn't have to be necessarily sexual. It could be like foot massage in exchange for a diaper change.
I mean, that sounds great.
Did you think that's a fair trade?
It depends on the length of the foot massage and the status of the diaper.
I was going to say, and whose diaper it is.
Right. Like, what's going on in that diaper? Is it a quick one?
Yeah. Is there like a section, we were talking about like saving up for a house. So like if you put in, we want to buy a house for this much, this is what we're making. Like, does the app know what you're making basically?
So these are some of the new additions that are coming. It's like income-based equitable split percentage, right? So like you make 150, your partner makes 190. What is the actual math on that to be equitably contributing? And then savings is an interesting new thing that we're teasing out, which is like, okay, if you have this target to save up for a house that's X amount by X date, then we can say, or I guess X amount by Y date, then you can say, to hit that goal, you need to save this amount every single month. And if you want to hit that goal faster, you can stop going to Starbucks 5 days a week.
Right. It would be nice if it was like, not like gamified, but in a way that it like yells at you, that it's like, you two are in a couple, Jane and Joe. Jane, you need to stop getting your smoothies because they're getting out of hand. And Joe, you need to stop getting your lattes. And the app would yell at both of them, or just like whoever needs to be yelled at.
It would yell at both of them and say, then you can contribute this much more every single month into the house fund. And it's not necessarily like stop altogether. It's like, instead of 5 days a week, go 3 days a week.
Cut back. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we are, the little treat generation. So like, you got to treat yourself.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I don't say make stuff a competition because I'm like, oh, like I'm fueled out of spite. I am. But I also just think it's like fun to do it as like, it's like a game that we're doing together.
Right. The goal is the same.
You know, in like The Office, how they would have those terrible like episodes about like, oh, the office that loses the most weight like gets like a special gift at the end.
See, I could go episode for episode with Seinfeld and with Curb, but I can't so much with The Office. But I'm following you.
It's okay. I'm discovering recently like there are a lot of people who have never even seen it at all, and that's aging, baby. But yeah, there's one episode where they're like, okay, like as a group, we're gonna lose like pounds as an office. That's not like the healthiest and best. But the sentiment is still there, that it's like we're doing it together and thus it is fun.
And it is just an objectively good goal.
And it's a good goal that we're all going to benefit from, or the two of us are going to benefit from when said house or car or whatever thing that we're saving up for is purchased.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of the challenge that people have today is like, we obviously are in like a super consumer driven society. And that makes, then there's all this, plenty of stuff around like short-term enjoyment, or like, what's the right word that I'm looking for? Like dopamine and like
immediate gratification.
Instant gratification. Exactly.
Or instant gratification. Yeah.
And people have a really hard time thinking in like 5 and 10 year horizons and objectives. And I think if we can help drive people to think that way a little bit better, then that's a win.
It's also like kind of a manifestation board, but like strictly money. Like a lot of people will manifest stuff and like put like pictures up, and it's like, this is something that you can look at and like track your goals. Do you give them stars or something so that they feel good on the way?
Yeah, we will.
When they're doing a good
like
job?
Points.
Okay,
yeah, for sure. Encouragement.
Not even. Yeah.
Points, stars, smiley faces.
You're doing better than your partner.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you should rethink the whole thing. And then you go to the breakup button, and then you initiate the breakup via Smoov.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're at work, they're at work.
Smoov also has like a dating app portion, and it's just organized by credit score.
Right, exactly. It's like, here are your most viable partners based on your financial objectives and standing. And if you want to get into the next tier, it's like a modern caste system, right? Where it's like these people are never, ever going to help you get to where you want to go. Focus up here.
Or it's like, look at this person. If you're very competitive, you should link up with them and see if you could increase their credit.
Right. And you guys will lift each other's level. Could be
fun. Who knows?
Time will tell.
Time will tell. Yeah, I do think it's so on the one hand fun to be a fly on the wall with other people's like expenses and conversations, but then there's also something about seeing a married couple pay each other for like an Uber on Venmo.
Crazy.
That disgusts me.
Right. Why does it disgust you?
I don't know why. Like,
because they don't know how the app works and they have never seen the public versus private toggle.
That one. And two, there's just something, and this is going to be counterintuitive to the entire episode, but there's something about like close relationships and keeping a tally that doesn't super sit the best with me. Like some of my longest friends, even since I like was like a child, like we would go out and get each other for pizza and just assume eventually you would get the other person back.
Yeah.
And then I think something changed, or maybe it was that like the whole world went like bankrupt. But
I mean,
like,
that's
where
not
people
nothing.
Really want to keep track. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get your point, right? Like it feels too transactional.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you know, what if they're taking that Uber 7 times a week, you know, and they're both commuting to the same part of town I don't know. Like every situation is different. Like you don't really know. I mean, I love this too. And by the way, this content is evergreen on TikTok when you shit on couples for using Venmo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, I use it. I just know to set it to private.
Right. Of course. Big brain move by you.
Thanks. But also, I'm like a little embarrassed. I'm like, why don't we have one bank account? Like, why does this still matter?
Because it kind of perpetuates the same issue of like who contributes how much to that bank account. And then the other big thing is like, I don't know if you guys rent or own, but like if we
don't even live together. We've been together for 10 years and we don't have any like actual shared expenses.
Oh, really? Just trips, vacations. When are you guys moving in together?
Time will tell.
Wow, exciting. Are you engaged?
Yeah. No.
Oh my gosh, 10 years? Sheesh, get it together. I'm just kidding. That's exciting, you know? You never know.
You never know. And I have a friend who she's going through a breakup now of 14 years. They never got married. And I was like, thank God you guys didn't get married.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry that this sucks, but like...
It could be worse.
Imagine doing paperwork on top of it.
Right.
No, thank you.
Did they live together?
Yeah.
Who kept the apartment?
And they have all the same friends. They still live in the same apartment. They're just now taking different trips.
Have you selected yet which one you're going to stick with?
Her.
Obviously. I don't even know why I asked.
But I don't know him.
Like, I thought you said they had all the same friends.
I'm a new friend to her. She's more close with like this other friend of mine. And they will stay friends with both of them. I have only one dog in this fight.
That makes it easier.
Mm-hmm. So would you recommend starting as a non-married couple on the app?
Definitely. That's who we're making it for.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like not for nothing. Like I've maybe like migrated past our core demographic just through my life. But like if you're, 25 years old, if this sounds like you, right? If you're 25, 26 or between 24 and 27 and you're out of college and you're in your first or second job and you're in a major city and you're living with your significant other and they too have a job and you have a dog or a cat or something like that, you are using Venmo relentlessly, I promise you.
Yeah.
And so that's who Smoov is for out of the gate. Now, where we're going is like, can we help them qualify for a mortgage? Can we help them get life insurance? Like that sort of like broader
within
financial,
the app.
Yeah, all within the app. So we don't do portfolio tracking or like asset tracking or net worth type of stuff right now. Like we're really, really focused on like, can we replace Venmo in the relationship? So splitting bills, sending money back and forth, that's like our main core focus. And we want to grow a lot doing that. We want brand recognition. We want to be ubiquitous with couple moving in for the first time. You're moving in, that's a Smoov move. Like move in with Smoov, deposit, first, last security, movers, like all these massive expenses that come with moving. If you run it all through Smoov, not to mention buying furniture. This is why the shared bank account thing is tricky, is because if you're buying a new TV or a new couch or a new bed for a new apartment with your partner, both of you have credit cards, I promise.
Yep.
And both of you have rewards programs that you're like, I'm a Bonvoy person, I'm a Chase Sapphire person, whatever. I'm not going to buy a $1,500, $2,500 couch on a debit card when I could get points for our next vacation instead. And so we integrate with the credit cards. So you can still automatically split that.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
And then if we're talking, see, I'm always thinking about like how this is going to be helpful to a breakup.
Say more.
Like, it's just all there. If you're talking about who bought the couch, then when you do inevitably break up, because everyone does.
Like it or not.
Like it or not. You know who the couch belongs to or whatever. Like, or even like when you mentioned pets, I was like, that's really interesting because I know people who dated for a long time, shared a pet, and then like decided to have like joint custody or whatever. But then I was like, I'm pretty sure this first person owned that pet for like 6 years before and took care of all like the main vet bills, like getting spayed and their first shots and stuff. And then it's like, but maybe that skews who should end up with said pet. Maybe you don't co-parent a dog if you don't like the other person.
Yeah, especially if you don't like the other person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, those are like the reoccurring things where it's like dog food, groomers, vet bills, that are just an additional level of complexity on top of the typical rent, utilities, etc.
Can polyamorous relationships use Smoov?
Thruples? Yeah, coming soon, April 1st. Smoov for thruples, April 1st.
Really? Or is that an April Fool's joke?
It's kind of an April Fool's joke. We've talked a lot about this because not thruples necessarily, but like groups, like if we can do, better than splitwise.
Couples with a cuck?
Yeah. What's a cuck? Should I know that?
What's a cuck?
Can you spell that out for me?
C-U-C-K.
No, like elaborate.
Oh, a cuck is somebody who watches a couple get busy.
Interesting.
For everyone's enjoyment.
Everyone likes it. Interesting. Not for
cuck
me.
Likes watching.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, and then one time we had this guy on who is a professional bull. There's like bulls and cucks and whatever. Sometimes the husband wants to be the cuck, so they'll bring in someone to fuck the person, and then the guy is
We had a situation like that in a group of friends, coworkers actually, at like a kickoff.
Way.
Yeah, and one of the interns got invited back to this couple's house, and he was they wanted him to be the bull, I guess. And I think he did.
Guy watched.
Yeah, I think he did. And then he like didn't show up for work the next day. And we're like, he's dead.
He's just tired. It's a lot of work.
More emotionally than anything, I bet.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of coming and then crying. Like he's just like out of fluids, all dried up, hooked up to an IV somewhere. It's crazy too, because my dad, who's like 72, I don't know
how do you go from that to that?
Because he was telling me about somebody that he knows. and somebody that like I've grown up with was asked to cuck for somebody or to bull for some couple once. And I was like, I don't know why I'm always surprised that like your generation did things as well. They just like hid them better.
Yeah, because they had no internet.
That's true. Maybe that's the reason why there used to be more of like one way to do things financially, besides like the fact that women couldn't own credit cards until like 1974. But like that, like there just wasn't this spread of information that was like, oh, you can do things this way and differently than the norm. And like, here's a bunch of other people doing it this way. And here's like a software that helps them do it and like alleviates stress.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a combination of a lot of stuff like that. Like, yeah, the women's credit card thing, they also didn't work. You know, it was like I'll use my family as an example. Like my grandparents were married when they were 20. They had 5 kids by the time they were 28. And and I don't know that my grandma really ever worked other than as a secretary for my grandpa. But he was always the breadwinner, right? And she was always stay at home raising the kids. And then fast forward to my parents, they got married when they were 30. And my mom took a couple of years off when we were young. I have a younger sister, 2 years younger, and she worked part-time. And then, you know, my dad worked full-time and my mom worked full-time after. But she made, you know, 20, 30% as much as my dad did. And now you look at our generation and couples get married 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, and both couples work. Women are deeper into their careers by that point. You know, gender equality in the workplace, right? Like women are outpacing men for the same jobs in cities like New York and Washington, D.C. It's no longer 75 cents on the dollar. And so they're both contributing equitably. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's good. But I do still see, you know, my sister-in-law just got some guy who was like underqualified, took the position she was going for. And I was
certainly
like,
still happens.
That's still happening.
Yeah. In New York?
But yeah.
These are like broad numbers.
No, totally. And yes, there has been like lots of movement. And I think people are more accepting of like a division of labor as well. Like my dad never changed a diaper. He has 4 children.
Right. There you go.
But like that wasn't his job.
I mean, the amount of like round the house stuff that I do is astronomical. You know, as a dad. And I love to do it too, because I'm like, you know, I always think too, but this is like totally tangential, but like the remote work environment is creating like all these micro interactions with your kids when they're super young that like our parents never had, or my dad never had, at least, because he was always at an office somewhere.
Yeah, same. No, I live with him right now, and like I'll be like, I think this is like the first time we hung out at like 8:00. Like he was always like working like forever. I'm like, it's a good thing I lived here one more time before you cease to exist.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for sure. Have you seen the thing that's like by the time your kids turn 18, you've already spent like 90% of your time with them?
That's really nice. I don't know if it's true all the time.
Probably not all the time, but like, you know, on the averages, I think it is.
Were you always interested in like financial planning, or is this just something that came from that trip with your wife?
I think I've always been interested in finance and money. And then I've also always been interested in relationships. I can't remember what the class was in college, but it was, let's call it like a creative writing class or some stupid liberal arts course. And the best. Yeah. And I did a full presentation about The Game. And I was like, this is what it's like when you're dating.
The Game, the book?
No, I just called the presentation The Game. And I was like, here's the game that you're playing when you're dating. And I broke it down. God. Yeah.
Okay, there's a book called The Game. And I was like, ew.
No, I don't know what that is. What's it about?
Okay. It's like this guy who fucks a lot of people and teaches you like how to do it, but he's horrible.
Yeah, no, that's not totally different. Same name.
Okay.
Well, that was just the name of my presentation. But I've always been interested in the game, like a student of the game, like relationships, and people are scared of rejection. I mean, you're, I guess, immersed in this, right? Like dating and relationships and whatnot. Doing the pod.
I talk to people about it. Yeah.
I mean, so what's going on, right? Like kids are not having sex anymore. Kids are not going out. Like, have you seen the stats about like people 18 to 25 who haven't had sex in over a year?
They're not having sex with each other as much, but they're jacking off a lot more.
It's so not the same.
It's so not the same, but I do think it's better for like girls and like people who can get pregnant.
Maybe.
Safer.
Yeah. Safer, but still
safer, and they get to know their own bodies before like diving headfirst
themselves
into
out there.
Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah, and I think the other thing that's scary is like just the other thing that's concerning from a cultural standpoint is like approaching women for guys. Like those numbers are also way down, and so it's like people have this fear of rejection from walking up to someone and. It's because we still have like the caveman brain, we're like the world has progressed so far, but human beings as sapiens, like our species has not really as much. And so in your brain, you still have this like fear of rejection, which is coming from the caveman brain, which is like, okay, I live in a village. In the village, there's 100 people. And of those 100 people, there are 4 that could be my potential mates. And so if I fuck up when I'm talking to one of them, they're all going to know and I won't have a mate and I'm done. And that still lives inside of us. So when in reality...
And they didn't know at that time that you could just move to LA and
right, you go to LA and
meet a whole other group of people who don't want to date you.
Right, you could try again. Yeah.
Try again. Yeah. Start over. And then they say the same exact line by accident. And they're like, fuck.
Fuck, now I need to go to Oregon.
Yeah. And Oregon, they're very accepting.
Right. They'll take literally anything.
They will take whoever and they will do whatever you want. Keep Oregon weird. Do you think that speaking about finances with your partner can take like the spice out of romance?
I think speaking about finances poorly with your partner definitely can, because it's going to create this like undertone and animosity where, if whoever's speaking poorly or whoever's not satisfied with the financial conversation is going to have that animosity and then in turn be less attracted to the other person.
Mm-hmm. But I was kind of just thinking in like the way of you go out on a dinner date. And like usually it's like the person who puts their card down, they paid. And there's this moment of like, thank you. Even if it's coming from like the same account, it's like appreciated or whatever. Yeah. If after they put the card down, they're like, let me put this into Smoov. Does that, or I guess you don't do it manually.
You don't do it manually.
Goes.
Yeah. The situation is more like, okay, we're going to go out Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then on Sunday, when we're like watching Netflix and doing nothing, I'll like open Smoov and be like, oh yeah, that was with her. That was with her. That was with my homies. That was just me. And then you just will split the stuff that was with your partner. Mm-hmm. Unless you're like, hey, it's our, I want to take you out tonight, right? Like it's all circumstantial. But the idea is like making those micro moments of awkwardness.
Yeah.
Less of a friction point, right?
Yeah. Okay. That would be also a hilarious thing is like you're like, I want to take you out. You have the best night ever. It's romantic. You're hooking up. Everything's great. And then a week later,
it's on Smoov.
There's some little fight. Yeah. And someone's like, you're going to split this dinner with me. Yeah. That could be cause for a fight. Okay. So there are things that you could go in and like manually be like, this person's not going to have anything to do with that. That's like,
the default is that they don't. Like you have a private view, your partner has a private view. Private for obvious reasons. Sports betting, OnlyFans, all of the things that I don't want my wife to know that I'm spending money. I'm joking, but like it feels like the right audience to talk about those things. You know, for me, it's like my snowboard gear. Like she doesn't need to know how much a new snowboard costs because it's my money. And I don't need to know how much she spends at fucking Sephora and Zara because it's her money.
Yeah.
But if it's something that we share, then it goes from the private view onto the shared view and it's divided by our personal split percentage.
Okay. Here comes competition again, but also it's just kind of always wondering like where I am in terms of the world. Does the app ever say like, hey, in terms of 36-year-olds who do this profession, you are not doing well, bitch. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, it's not going to do that. No, not yet. It could. No. Would you want it to? Would that be motivating for you?
I think so.
Yeah, like here's how you stack up against people your age.
Yeah, or like here's what your credit score like should look like at this point in your life. Like here's a percentage of what should be savings versus here's stuff that like nobody really spends this much on Labubus as you. Like maybe rethink that.
Yeah, like definitely don't buy those on your Amex.
Why? The points.
Well, not if your Amex is already, like where mine is. Yeah, I think we can do stuff like that. Like we're going to be able to do lots of interesting, fun stuff like that, especially where it's like competitive and gamified. Yeah.
And you were also saying that your friends are on there too.
So yeah, back to the like throuple thing. Like we're testing out the ability to add a third partner or a fourth partner. And the idea is less around, the sexual context, but more so on like what if I want to use Smoov when I go out and have dinner with my friends? Could I do it like that too? Like teasing out the splitwise adjacent functionality. And yeah, there's some interesting nuance in terms of like partner switching that we need to figure out on the product side, but it's something that we're thinking about. And then like group trips and, like we travel.
Or like group dinners.
Yeah, group dinners are a great example.
I went out with a couple friend of mine the other day and we all split everything. And then at the end, we were all putting our cards in and he goes to her, no, you don't need to pay. And I go, yes, she does. Because otherwise I'm splitting half of that.
Now I'm paying for a third instead of a quarter. Right. The math needs to math.
I'm not with her. You're with her.
Yeah.
That would make, I think group dinners are a big point of contention for a lot of adults, especially like singles who are like going out with a bunch of couples
or like people that don't drink. This happened to me because I stopped drinking before my kids were born because I was stressed out. And then you go out to a big group dinner and it's like, suddenly I'm paying for a percentage of like 10, 15 different $20 drinks.
Literally, I barely drink and I stopped hanging out with like 90% of my friends because I was like, I can't keep just like I'm never going to make it back in the way that like when I was saying when we're younger and we'd like buy each other like a Starbucks and we'll be like, we'll get you next time or whatever. Like people who don't drink are never, I'd have
like
to
it's
order
not going to net out
3 steaks at our next dinner. Like I'm never going to do that.
Right.
So
but maybe you should.
That's your next app is sober people, don't make them pay for shit.
Yeah. And my friends are all assholes. So they're like, that's what you get, dude. Too bad.
Yeah. They're like, either pay for it or don't come to dinner. You're like, great. What does a breakup look like on Smoov?
This has been kind of a running joke, like the breakup button that I was alluding to. Like you send a notification and then they get the notification. That's how you initiate the breakup. More importantly, I think the point of what you were talking about is like the audit trail. Like everything is searchable, and the functionality around that is like, hey, did you pay me back for those flight tickets from December when we went to go see your family? And then there's also the question of like, who should pay? Like if you're going to see his family or your family, like, like maybe there is an imbalance in that. But you have every time you settle up, so you can also send each other money through the app. And when you do that, it goes into your history and then the history is searchable. So did you pay me back for Whole Foods or Trader Joe's? You just search and then that shows up in there. From a breakup or like a divorce standpoint, it is interesting to have this like whole audit trail of the value add from each partner into the relationship. And to
especially
your point
if
about
you're doing
like,
taxes
furniture.
together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds really good for taxes' sake.
Yeah, well, you can know
if people are filing together.
Yeah, you know the breakdown for sure.
Mm-hmm. Do you like? I know that you're mostly giving this software to people, but like, do you guys ever talk about the ways to approach financial conversations in a couple that are like disarming and will more likely lead to like a happy resolution?
Consensus or like, we as a company, do we talk about that?
Yeah.
Not really, but we should. That's a good idea. My wife's actually a psychologist, and so we talk about it all the time.
She would be great about it.
Yeah.
So what does she say?
I think it's about just communicating like open and honestly instead of, this is the thing, right? Like Gen Z is the most financially literate generation of all time.
Are they?
Yes. And this is a new study.
It's because they're not fucking. They are doing math and
okay, but the ones that are, they're all on YouTube. They're self-learning. And then so then they are in the ones that are in relationships, 9 out of 10 of them are fighting about money. 90%, even though they're the most financially illiterate. Mm-hmm. And it's because they don't have a good system to balance their books, so to speak, or like have that equitable contribution. So then they're lying about how much they make or how much they spend or how much they have saved.
It's so nice to have a computer be like, no, actually you spent this amount.
Right. Keep you honest. Yeah.
It's like a computer version of like a therapist, a couple's therapist that they could
it's like the accountability.
Like, I'm totally not biased, but like you actually did gamble away that much last month.
Right. And you didn't make it back when you thought you were going to.
And you didn't make it back. Yeah.
Yeah. You actually lost twice as much.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe the conversations, like I know where I've went wrong. Let's say if somebody owes you money or you're like, whatever, like there's just something that you're like, I have to bring up. If you do it in a moment where like you're pissed about it, it like immediately makes the person go on the defensive.
Right. Timing is everything.
Yeah. It's kind of similar to some of the advice we've received about like talking about like, hey, like, could you do something different in bed? It's like you have to approach it with like a compliment sandwich, being like,
yes.
And out of the moment. So like 2 days later, like at lunch or something like that, being like, oh, like I've had like the best day with you and I just think you're the funniest person in the world. And like, I have been thinking something that would like make our relationship a little better is if like we get more even with our finances. But I'm just so happy to be in this relationship with you and I love you so much.
Compliment sandwich. Yeah.
A compliment sandwich. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's good for any sort of feedback. And I think if it's something as serious as finances, it's an important like disarming mechanism. And then again, going back to my point of like trying to think through like 5 and 10 year long-term objectives, like doing it now, there's a saying, which is like hard conversations, easy life, easy conversations, hard life. Like having those hard conversations early in the relationship can set you up for broader success down the line.
I've never heard that before.
Keep that in your back pocket.
Who said that originally?
I think it was actually Michael Scott.
Was it?
No.
One time, one of my friends said, well, progress isn't linear. And I was like, oh my God, that is so smart. Like, did you just come up with that? And she was like, no, it's Obama. Like,
I don't know. I can't credit. I don't know who it is. I'm sure someone knows, but I like that progress isn't linear too. I always say progress is binary. Because one of the things is like, I feel like there's not enough time in the day to get all the shit that I need to get done. And so then I'm always reminding myself like progress is binary. Did you make progress? Yes or no? Yes. Good. No. Bad.
Yes. Although I will say there are some days where I get so much done and I'm so proud of myself for a second. And then I'm like, you could have done every other day like this as well.
Yeah.
No.
Just keep grinding. That's it. One day at a time.
And appreciate small wins. And yeah, we had a recent episode about how my friend got out of like extreme debt, and like you can always just get better. Like there's no like, oh, I'm so bad at finances, and so like this is the end of my life. It's like, no, it's just like the beginning of you learning like a little bit more.
Yeah. No losses, only lessons.
Gains.
How did they do it? What is extreme debt?
She went to Debtors Anonymous and they gave her tools. Tucker, thank you so much for chatting. How old is Smoov right now?
Smoov is 4 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. Check it out. Try us out. Yeah. And if you're in a relationship and you're in your mid-20s and you both work and you live together and you have an animal, a dependent with 4 legs, then Smoov is for you.
Yeah. Or just a quote unquote roommate.
Or if you have a roommate and if you go on vacations together and like nice things.
Where can everybody find the app, and where can everybody find you?
The app is on the App Store, Apple App Store only for now. Sorry, Droid people. It's Smoov Finance on the App Store.
Well, that's a different compatibility that
We're
needs
getting
to be
there.
discussed.
We're getting there. Yeah. Right.
Apple
it's the green
users
bubbles.
It's
a non-starter for
more
most
to
people.
come. Yeah.
And then on Instagram, smoov.app. And then, I'm on TikTok at TikTok Tucky.
Cool. I have to ask this question to everybody after a sexual experience, and money is inherently sexy. So, Tucker, did you finish?
I feel like I finished. Yeah.
Okay,
Did you?
Great. Yeah.
Your voice went up.
Right?
Oh, no.
So then maybe not. But, I had a great time, and that's enough sometimes. You guys, you can follow me at Remy Casimir, follow the podcast at How Come Podcast. If you want to watch this episode unedited, patreon.com/howcome. Send us all your questions. I'm sure you can message Tucker as well. Yes?
For sure. Absolutely.
Okay, great. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time on How Come. Bye.
Bye.
It's not you, it's me. I try so hard to finish honestly. They say you'll know when you go all the way from A right down to O. Oh no, I think that I still got a ways to go. Oh, I'm sick of this and I have got to know. How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help, 'cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna just...
Yeah, so I didn't ask him any sexy stuff because I was like, CEO and founder. But we that was a good topic, and we hit our boy quota. Our boy guest quota. Just kidding, Tucker. Thank you for coming on. Bye.